Hey, this is Marcus Washington here at Capital One Arena for Georgetown at Villanova. The Hoyas are coming off of a loss to Providence up at Providence, and that's one of those things. They played some of their best basketball they played all year up at Providence. It just didn't equate into a win. We saw a team that looked almost connected for the first time this year. I thought that Caden Rice coming off the bench did provide a nice little punch there, even though Colin Holloway um, had a tough game. Having Kerry back also was big for the Hoyas. He played really, really well, but then there was a few things that have really plagued Georgetown all year. Untimely turnovers at times, a little bit on the shot selection side. Uh, Defensively, uh, kind of losing a guy. You know what Providence is going to do. You know they're going to run that flex, and they're married to the flex. And at times, Georgetown they make a big run, and then they let their guard down for two or three defensive possessions, and a great run that cuts it to five, or cuts it to seven, goes back up to 10, goes back up to 14. So those were some consistency issues. And though Patrick Ewing has never been the type to say that there are any moral victories, he had to have somewhat been pleased by the fact that they were very competitive, um, plugging guys back into the lineup. He had a chance to sit at home. I had asked him a few days ago about sitting at home and watching his team from the TV as opposed to actually coaching them and what could be learned. Obviously, he would not tell me what he learned. He did indicate that he was going to that he learned some things and there's going to be changes, but he did not want to share those changes. Which, fair enough. I can certainly understand why he wouldn't want to share those changes. But Georgetown will need those changes today as they face Villanova, the class of the Big East, for the last what feels to be generation. Villanova in their last time out had a tough loss to Marquette, who is really, really gaining steam. The loss to Marquette broke a six-game winning streak for Villanova. Everybody who's a Georgetown fan, a Big East fan, a Villanova fan, is familiar with who the Wildcats are bringing today. Colin Gillespie, Brandon Slater, Jermaine Samuels. I know if you are not a Villanova fan, you probably think these guys have been here forever and ever and ever. They're bringing a veteran group coming off a loss, so Georgetown definitely will have their work cut out for them. Some of the things that I would like to see today, I would like to see Patrick Ewing really trust Jalen Billingsley more. Billingsley brings something to the Hoyas below the free throw line that he does not have in any other player. Billingsley could hit the little short jumper. He's creative around the basket. He could be a better offensive rebounder, of course, but that creativity in that small space is something that Georgetown does not have a lot of. So Billingsley brings that. It's just that he has to earn Patrick Ewing's trust to be out there for more than 6 minutes and 8 minutes and 10 minutes and be out there closer to 16. Also would like to see Coach Ewan play Mutombo a little bit more today. Maybe give him any minutes that you had slated for Malcolm Wilson to go to Mutombo. With Timothy Igwefe, taking the bulk of those minutes. Those young guys can be impactful and effective in this game. Also, while I'm giving out advice that Patrick Ewing did not solicit, would love to see Tyler Beard get a little bit more minutes. I'm not saying necessarily to take Dante Harris off of the floor, but maybe go with that 2 point guard, two primary ball handler lineup, allowing Harris to play somewhat off the ball. He's been in a funk of late. I think he's made 16 of his last 50-something shots. Maybe taking him off the ball, giving him a little bit less responsibility will help him get out of that funk. Last but not least, Aminu Muhammad needs to be able to create and be able to pull up before they walk him off. Teams have been walling him off at the basket. Either pull up or he has to learn how to create for others. Five-star freshman has had a great year, especially when you can see he's a freshman in a tough conference. But that's got to be the next step. How can I make people better when teams are so much concentrating on me and walling me off? Again, Georgetown, Villanova here at noon on Fox. This is Marcus Washington from MTC Media.